with the mad doc. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up.
I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you're tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. And I gotta win no matter what, like fourth down, Hail Mary, no punch. Like every time I touch down, I gotta stun. Randy Moore. Any more for? Check the stats up, you can check the scoreboard. Check the stats, Jay Critch, I'm the QB. Ran it up and then I went and got a new freeze. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. If you ain't a winner, then don't come round. On my way to another city, it's a touchdown. Underlay, yeah, I gotta get it in a rush now. Let them hate, try to knock me down, but we got up now. You said that you ballin', keep it real though. Hey, why I never saw you in the field though? Hey, I make it look easy, it's a field goal. I've been grinding for a minute and I'm still going. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon.
It's a lot of money, why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. It's the Mississippi State product at quarterback calling the shots will be Dak Prescott.
Well, we've hit that bittersweet week of the NFL season, haven't we? The last week of the regular season, week 17. Come on, Brandon. Can he win the MVP? Can he do it here in this last game?
Well, he's got to make a strong impression here in the final week. It's an interesting race. My MVP ballot is at the top of my email right now, and I'm not voting until we've seen all the games here today.
I like that. I respect a man that waits until the season is over, doesn't turn it in early. I think if he has a big game here and gets a little bit of help, maybe the other guys don't play as well, he's got a great shot.
And now with the play clock winding down, Jason Garrett opts to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. A first down throw for Prescott. He finds Randall Cobb on the completion. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Prescott on first down. That's complete to Cobb. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. So the same tandem connecting on back-to-back throws to
maybe throwing the scouting report off just a little bit. That's not exactly what they think is going to be their number 1 receiver, but he's producing already early in this game.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott. It's caught. Cooper. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give them 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kyler Fackrell, the linebacker. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Bridgewater to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
So that complicates things a bit here. Second down. A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. That'll get a little bit back, give him 5 on the run, and they'll be left with a 3rd and 13.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Third and long for Bridgewater. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Here's Britton Colquitt now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. On the return comes Cobb. 51 yards on the punt there. Extra coming into the weekend in the NFC. And you can see it's no race for the top spot. That's been decided. These guys will hope to get through Week 17 in one piece before they host a division round game in 2 weeks' time.
And I think that what they'll do is they'll be very selective about who plays in this game, all right? There's certain guys that maybe are starters, but maybe haven't played as much as other guys during the year. Maybe they still need their timing back. Other guys, you're going to put in bubble wrap and put them on the sidelines until
very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run with Elliott. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Prescott to throw it. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down. And on this offensive unit, your thoughts on Travis Frederick?
He's a quarterback's best friend. Sets all the line calls and blocks so aggressively.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. Buying time to his left. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. A look at the starters now on the defensive side of the ball for the Giants. And they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
And when you're getting ready to face the number 1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
On third down, it's Prescott. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Intended that time for Cooper. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Gallman will run it. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
No score after 1 on EA Sports.
Hey, we got 4 down.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Here I come.
Out of the gun, Bridgewater. That's complete to Gallman. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Now Cobb to return. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Flush to his right. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. Last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Caught by Cobb. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Dak dropping this one off for Zeke. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down. First down, Prescott. Throw complete to Herndon. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Switch gears.
Hey, kill.
And again, it's Prescott. That is caught. It's Cooper for the Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper with touchdown number 23 here on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Extra point good by Prater, and that makes the score 7-0. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field.
This is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Don't get nervous.
They'll begin with a run by Gallman. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Bridgewater. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jeff Heath. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but if the ball's in the air, they treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Now Prater to add the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And the division title out of reach, we know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
So it's just a matter of adjusting now, isn't it? And what I mean by that is mentally. Every team starts the season thinking, let's go for the number 1 seed, right? Being the top team. Number 2 is pretty great, too, because you get the opening bye, and you're at home after that. But it doesn't matter at this point. Just getting in, and you just sit down. Or would you rather stay at home for the playoffs? Let's go on the road and go take someone out. Well, it's time.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Here's Bridgewater. And this is going to be incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. And our focus now moves to Randall Cobb. For him, what an accomplishment in this game, surpassing the 2,000-yard mark. And all the time we talk about these guys out wide like him that are so athletic and can do so many things. But take us a little deeper. How has he done it this year?
Well, you helped with this because when we sat down with him before the game and discussed his season, and you said to him, okay, I have a vision that you, similar to a pitcher, change up a lot of things, right? Different arm angles, different slots that a pitcher would do. You do that with your route running and all that. And I loved his response. He said, yeah, I do that. But one of his best friends is a world-ranked tennis player. And he talked about serves and how you change up, take pace off, do different things. And he incorporated that into his route running.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still first down.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. First and 15 following the delay of game. Now Prescott. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Here's first and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Super Bowl 49 hero Malcolm Butler. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line.
Boy, that's the kind of interception that can save a game right there. They're already down 2 scores. Huge play, slowing down what was going against them.
I was thinking the same thing. You get down 3 scores there at this stage, could be in for a long ball game. Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here first and 10. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Now, those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there.
Set, ready. Come on, now the wolf. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. coming, baby. I'm coming, baby.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. A good comeback there after the penalty, 9 yards, and it's 2nd and 6. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital. And as they approach halftime, it's the Redskins who have the lead in that one. Nelson Aguilar, a touchdown reception. From there, we head over to Detroit. Check on the Lions at home, Ford Field. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Seahawks. Kerryon Johnson has a touchdown run. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. In the game you're watching, you've seen a strong first half out of Dak Prescott. His guys have a 2-touchdown lead as we hand it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Elsewhere, second quarter in D.C., and the Redskins there out to an early lead. Dwayne Haskins with 2 first-half touchdown passes. Time to take a glance into what we've seen so far from Teddy Bridgewater. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see,
his renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward.
At the 32-yard line.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
They go play action. Bridgewater. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Third and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. From the gun, Bridgewater. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded just inside the 20. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Prescott now. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Pass on target. Prescott to Cooper. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A first down carry by Elliott. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 2nd and 7, Prescott. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Well, that'll get him to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the...
And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Dak Prescott, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a... And they'll start at the 25. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 18 there, and the Giants have a first down. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
They'll run again here with Gallman. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is, at the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play there on the catch and run. 63 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. Looking to throw, Prescott. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39. Drive, they've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
Prescott throwing complete to Cobb. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. One quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run on first down. It's Elliott. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
Now Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down. B.J. Hill able to drop him for a loss of a couple. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Credit Julian Love with a pass breakup. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense.
That is caught. It's Cooper for the Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Prater for the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And you can see they're in second place in the division, but they have clinched postseason football. They have the best record among the wild card contenders, but you never really feel comfortable when you're down around that 5 or 6 slot, do you?
No, you don't. You figure you've got to close the deal. You've got to make sure you clinch that spot to make sure you keep your place in the tournament, in the playoffs. But the other part, too, is the coaching staff.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Cowboys use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Throwing is Bridgewater. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Bridgewater now. And his throw is incomplete.
Third down and 17.
The Giants on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Bridgewater. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Jordan Lewis right there on the coverage. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Here's Britton Colquitt now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. He'll return it from the 6. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. Position game. They opt to keep their offense out there. A big mistake in hindsight.
Yeah, that one backfired. In hindsight's always 20/20, but let's call it what it was. We would have first guessed that one and said, don't do it here. Bad situation. I think they need to be closer to midfield before I would start to think it was a good idea.
Yeah.
And once you start taking risks like that, you're going to have to keep taking them throughout the game, especially when they don't work.
Yeah, at this stage of the second half, interesting. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. To throw again on second down, Bridgewater, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Bridgewater to throw it, and that is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. To throw is Prescott. That's complete to Cobb. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Throwing here, Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. Throwing again on 2nd down. Prescott. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Extra point good by Prater, and that will extend this big lead. 5 plays there on that drive, and it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. And this is going to be covered up by the Giants. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and The defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Dallas, they'll wrap up the campaign an impressive 15-1. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Giants, we'll have to see what happens as they're going to finish the year 10-6. And they'll get their shot at playoff football as they'll be on the road next week as a wild card. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. I score up in the end zone, do my dance all on a hater. A mover and a shaker, you a novice, I'm a player. I'm from DC, but I'm running through and sacking like a raider. 2 chains on my neck, one for now and one for later. If we don't play fair, baby, we play for keeps. You can pass me up, this is not a bye week. I'm looking for a trophy competition, looking steep. Yeah, I'm training, I've been focused, I've been bombing from the deep. I'm like, move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Move the needle for the city like the championship. All my records go hard, this a champion hit. I've been working for this moment like I've been in the gym. Jumping all over hurdles, I'm evading the pit. Head to head with anybody, take them, I can shake them. I invite them to the fire, then I bake them, I'ma break them. I'm a Hall of Fame legend, they should go and hang my jersey. Made to put in work, I don't think they really heard me like, move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Ain't no stopping me, ain't no topping me. I am up, #1 seed, ain't nobody popping up. Got a squad of gorillas from the jungle, suited up. You kicking off against me, hope you ready, get it up. I be booted up, popping out a sprinter or a truck. Whole team chasing bags while they chasing us. Calling audible, I read the game, I think it's time to switch. You get hit, if I miss, then my teammates got the blitz, yeah. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Yeah. One up and up, it's magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, they like lights, camera, action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Feel like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brothers, no lie. All you can die, never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side, yeah, we in it for life. And I've been magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon'
Tell my son I love him for him.